Hello, so happy that you are here. As in this episode of Read With Me session, we are diving into this particular book, The Little Money Bible. It's our personal freedom featured book of the month here by Stuart Wilde. It's 10 Laws of Abundance. And so we're currently diving into chapter 2. It's a little book, Little Money Bible, but it is super, super powerful. So if you missed chapter 1 or the intro, or you want to re listen to it again, it's definitely worth it. It is in the playlist on our YouTube channel. You can definitely check that out. So appreciate each and every single one of you. Actually, we just hit over 100 subscribers here on this particular channel. So awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for your attention. And I hope that you are getting a ton of value from the books that we are reading and the different authors every single month. Okay, we are reading one book on personal freedom and one on financial freedom every single month. This particular year, we are currently at the time of this recording, August 2022, August 25th to be exact, 2022. So super pumped. Since I believe January, February, we've been reading 2 books. So we are probably on, I don't even know, I have to get the correct number, but a good amount of books that we've been reading, and it's been life transforming. Just to be able to continue to grow together, go on this journey, and get us in the right mindsets on a daily basis as we take in this great positive information, the wisdom that we're currently reading. And this particular book is a game changer. Okay. So if you're looking for more abundance in your life, then you are at the right place, as I mentioned before. So my name is Vanessa Black. So happy that you're here. And if you find these books valuable, if you have any idea of a book that you're like, oh, I would love to actually read that, or a book that you would recommend, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Okay. If it's on financial freedom or personal freedom, we would love to hear it. We're on a mission to impact the lives of billions of souls all over the world. Okay, to achieve personal freedom and financial freedom in their lives. And, we need you to make that happen as well. So, hope you have a beautiful day so far. Let's get right into it. Chapter 2, the law of flow. In chapter 1, we discussed the law of abundance is natural and God given. Okay, and that's where they Stuart Wilde provided the exercise of the index card and just writing that letter asking for a cash refund of all the energy that you have put in out, because money equals energy. So let's dive right into chapter 2, the law of flow. The concept: everyone can get their head around the idea that abundance flows. We watch it daily, flowing and not flowing. Here's a subtle trick to being in the flow. But first, let me remind you that a positive attitude goes almost without saying. The more you moan and affirm that you don't have enough money, the more it slips from your hands, from your grasp. Maddening, really, for when it slips away, that in itself becomes a negative affirmation of how unfair the system seems to be. Of course, it isn't unfair, it's just energy in motion, responding to feelings. To those who have, more shall be added. And to those who don't have, a chunk will be taken away. So the first rule of flow is to constantly tell your mind that you are rich. That's the first rule. That is a great note if you're taking note to write down, or if you have the physical book to underline or understand. Okay. So the first rule of flow is to constantly tell your mind that you are rich. Okay. There are many manifestations of wealth that aren't necessarily cash. Okay. So when someone says wealth, it doesn't necessarily mean cash. It could also mean love, friendship, nature, sweet sensations, pleasing emotions, etc. Rich is a way of viewing life. It's powerful. So tell yourself, I want to view the world with a kindly eye. I want to view it richly. And he has that as like a quote. Tell yourself, I want to view the world with a kindly eye. I want to view it richly. Remember, your unconscious mind, the powerhouse of the soul, doesn't know if you are rich or not. If you tell it you're rich, it will accept that as gospel. So you have to believe in luck and flow and goodness, even when cash wise things might not be bloody awful. Perhaps it goes against the grain, but if you see your affirmations as just that, affirmations, you can affirm your abundance and good fortune even when things look a bit dodgy, like they're not looking like it. You can still affirm it. The poorest person has things to be thankful for. So, affirming your abundance is an act of gratitude and humility, as well as a way of keeping yourself in the flow. In the flow. People get into trouble understanding flow because they can't tell the difference between effort and struggle. So they'll get an idea and everything tells them that it's not working. And yet they plug away, doggedly going through the agony of it all. Because someplace back there somewhere, someone told them that whacking their heads against the wall was an honorable way of conducting themselves. Not quite so. Struggle causes a lot of pain because it involves a lot of negative emotions. Struggle is also very hard work. All ideas that are holy and good and honest, ideas that serve humanity and yourself, will have a positive energy of their own. When you head out to materialize a money making plan, it will gather momentum. It's as if the universe at large leads you step by step, showing you the way. That's flow. You meet the right people, you sit in the right seat on the plane, and next to you is the very person you need to connect with. It's a wonderful thing watching flow in motion. We all know that it looks like what it looks like when it's working. The trick is to be able to pull back when things aren't flowing. Everybody say flow. As I said in my little book, life was never meant to be a struggle. Struggle is effort laced with emotion. As humans, we are required to exert effort in order to get things done. So if you're cycling up a hill, delivering loaves of bread, you'll expend calories pedaling. Just imagine this. Effort is natural. But when one's energy expenditure gets wrapped up in loads of negative emotion, that's when you flip to the unnatural. From effort to struggle. I hope you're getting this. This is powerful. From effort to struggle. Life was never meant to be a struggle. That's one of his other books. Struggle is your effort, but you're tying your negative emotions to it. We all need to use our effort, but I don't have to struggle if I don't put my negative emotions to it. Effort is natural. Of course, you need perseverance when times are tough, but perseverance mustn't trip you into negative emotion. That will destroy your dream real quick. So if things aren't flowing, watch the signs very carefully. What little adjustment can you make to get things moving? Is your plan realistic? Do you have the wherewithal to pull it off? Are you missing some component? If you're missing a piece of the jigsaw, what does that piece look like? Is it a piece inside of you? Or where will you get the bit you need? It's okay to go up a path little way only to discover that it's not right for you. As long as you realize when things aren't working and then you pull back. The trick is to evaluate and ask yourself, is this a stupid idea or not? Am I going about it ass backwards or what? Do I need this suffering or is my suffering voluntary? Remember, it's not a defeat to pull back when things aren't right. You can always wait for things to change. The fool plugs away regardless of the signs. If you are aware, you'll pull back or perhaps continue slowly forward, watching carefully, making adjustments as you go. Remember, don't be impatient. Things always take longer to materialize than you think. than you think they will. That's because our minds can move faster than the 3D reality in which we all exist. So remember when he said, imagine if you thought something and it happened and it manifested right away, like good or bad. So let's say you're like, oh, I want $1 million and it came to you right here. That'd be amazing, right? But what if you said something negative or you thought something negative and that came to you? Okay. So he was letting us know in the beginning that there's a protection of time. Thank God. Okay. Because it'd be crazy if our thoughts instantly would come right in front of us and manifest. There is a protection over us. Also, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail sometimes. See these as mini seminars you attend to teach you the tricks of life. Of course, the main trick is to be flexible and easygoing and lighthearted and to learn. Life is a seminar. We learn by stuffing it up. So be kind to yourself. Although flow often seems to be a form of magic, it actually stems initially from order and planning. It's good. It's much easier to experience a great good fortune when you are organized and ready and able to receive the abundance due to you. So ask yourself, am I ready? If someone shows up right now with my special opportunity, can I respond? Am I flexible? Can I move and go in an instant? Flow is energy in motion. So you have to become the embodiment of energy in motion that is flexible, fluid, and fast on your feet. I think of water, flexible, fluid. In passing, let's look at risk and reward. To make money, you will have to take risk, even if it's just your time on the line. The key to risk taking is knowledge. For example, gambling is better on an unknown outcome. Investing is better on known possibilities. The difference is knowledge and the quality of your information. So when the amateur blackjack player is putting his money on the run of the cards, he's gambling. But the professional card player has knowledge and additional information. He can count cards as they come past and make informed decisions about what is about to happen next. He's not gambling. He's investing his money in a planned and reasonable way on what may seem to others as random outcomes. His knowledge and ability change the random nature of the game into one of near certainty. He's not struggling. He's working, just as the croupier and the cocktail waitress are working. So struggle can be avoided by collecting information, lots of it, learning and watching and topping up on your game of life, moving through life with ability and knowledge. You go from gambling on life to investing in life. We all have to accept risk. Crossing the street is a risk, just one we are used to. The trick is to have enough information so you're betting on outcomes that are almost certain. When the outcome isn't certain, you ought to design your involvement to ensure that there's an easy and an inexpensive escape route. Remember, as I said before elsewhere, never go into anything without figuring out where the exit is. Never commit until you have to, and not until you have enough information. Try to make sure that there is a back door to whatever commitment you make, unless, of course, you are very sure of your involvement. The metaphysics. The metaphysics of flow is easy to comprehend. You figure it with your feelings. Your feelings are enormously powerful. They're your extrasensory perception. The mind can deduce from what it already knows and guess at an outcome. And millions are lost every day using this intellectual guessing method. but your feelings are more accurate, for everything is energy. So, any deal or investment or any involvement with others has an energy of its own. That is the thumbprint, if you like. Use your feelings to stay in the flow and to keep away from trouble. Remember, if an idea feels wrong, it is wrong. That's not to say you should trash a deal whenever you have a moment of disquiet. It's just to say if suddenly there is an energy shift and you are in tune with your feelings, the shift will alert your feelings. When something feels odd, stop and notice and take stock. Your feelings guide you away from trouble. Half of the trick to making money and being in the flow is staying away from the deals that don't work. It's the deals you walk away from that make you rich as much as the successful deals. So put your feelings into everything, meditate, and become a satellite for your subtle feelings. The way to build up your sensitivity is to ask, ask, ask. Constantly refer back to your feelings to confirm your direction. If you're in a meeting, mentally reach out to the other people there and imagine your arm extending to touch one of them in the heart. Then mentally pull your arm back quickly while centering your mind, blanking it, and ask, how does this person feel? Edgy, arrogant, angry, excited, safe, crooked, loving, kind, and so on. Your first impression will be the correct one. The litmus test of referring to your feelings should be used many times a day. Energy shifts constantly, so you'll want to be aware, especially when dealing with other people. How does this person feel right now? How is that different from the way it felt last time I checked in? Is this deal I'm considering for real, or has something changed? What's the upside? What is the downside? Is the downside far greater than the upside? Is the risk worth taking? Then ask yourself how you feel. Are you happy, comfortable, and flowing along, or is there something bothering you? Staying in the flow is really only a matter of staying close to your feelings. Struggle comes from a lack of awareness of yourself, of self, and from poor quality information. It is also compounded by the inability to turn back when the energy on a particular path peters out. Stay in the pocket, be aware, shift and change, and never get into anything that you can't walk away from. Keep these rules, and you will always be in the flow. Action. The action of flow is one of being alive and aware, ready to step forward fearlessly. You have to move toward your target. So do something each and every day that improves your situation and takes you closer to your dream. Sometimes that action may be as simple thing that grants you more stability or more order. Like perhaps you take a day out to tidy up your paperwork. Order of itself is a positive thing, is it not? Rarely do opportunities find you. Usually you have to be moving toward them. So heighten your ability to stay in the flow by heading out, talking to people, making contacts, stepping out from where it's safe and cozy, pushing against your comfort zones and reaching out. That's how the faucet of flow is turned on. By generating energy each day so the universe at large can engage its magnificent laws and deliver to you even more energy. Try this. As well as moving toward your goals physically through action, simultaneously clear a path on an inner level by blowing love and light out ahead of you. For example, if there is a person in your way, your female boss, for example, start every morning by sitting quietly and seeing her in your mind's eye. Bring her up close to you so you're almost eyeball to eyeball. Then breathe a long breath in and expel that breath out into her heart. No matter how antagonistic you may feel, send her light and love. And do that ceremoniously 11 times. She'll change, you'll see. If you need certain people out of your way, don't wish them harm or evil. Just do this. After you've finished the 11 breaths, visualize them very small in the palm of your hand. Look down on them from above. Look at them standing there in your hand, an inch high, for example. Then hold your hand up to your mouth and expel a short, sharp breath at them. Literally blow them away, saying, quote, I release you with love and light to go in peace to your highest good, but go. Using this method, I got rid of a bothersome IRS tax agent who had been harassing me for 18 months. A few days of this metaphysically hurricane, and he quit the service. The next bloke assigned to my case was so overwhelmed and confused and stressed out that he closed my file with no more objections. If, say, you're off to an important meeting today, breathe in the location if you know it, see it in your mind's eye if you have been there before, or visualize the people. Or at worst, just imagine the meeting. Breathe in 11 times and send love and light to that location. Remember to tell your mind approximately what time the meeting will be. So say, quote, I'm projecting this love and light to such and such a location for use between the hours of noon and 2 o'clock or whatever. Use your inner power equally with your outer strength. That inner power places good energy ahead of you. It gets rid of dodgy people and helps close the gap between you and money. That brings us to the next law of money, which is the law of distance. What an amazing, amazing chapter, the law of flow. Hope you got something out of that chapter. That chapter, that law is definitely a law to be listened into again, read again, over and over. So important. Think of some times that you were in flow and how things just happened one by one perfectly. And then also you can reflect on things where you were out of flow, but maybe you kept pushing when you knew it wasn't right. You felt, but you kept going. That's taking us out of flow when we're forcing that, when we know at the end of the day it is not right. And then everything around us will start to maybe feel like a struggle, and then negative emotions come in and nothing's flowing. So that's a beautiful thing. I love how he goes to really go into our feelings and making decisions based on that. We know the answers. So it's having the courage to make those decisions, or, stopping something, pulling back, even when you're ahead. It is not a mistake. It is not a failure. You're going to go way faster, okay, down the line. So awesome. Hope you got a lot of information, a lot of great insight and knowledge on the law of flow in that particular chapter. Go ahead and share this if you felt it valuable and somebody else could benefit from it. And I'm excited for all the abundance heading your way today and this entire month. All right. Hope you have an incredible rest of your day. And we'll see you in the next chapter, okay, which is chapter 3, where we're going to dive into the law of money and distance. All right. Page 21 if you have the physical book. We'll see you. Have a beautiful day. Take care.